Hello and welcome to a special presentation today on the Salem School District warrant articles, which will be before voters on March 11th. I'm Marty McHugh, and today specifically we're going to be looking at the collective bargaining agreements that voters will be voting on in just a few days. Today's panel includes School Board Chairman Bernie Campbell, Vice Chair Patricia Corbett, Secretary Peter Morgan, and members Mike Carney and Pamela Berry. All right, let's start with Pam. Can you help us to understand Article 4, which is the proposed agreement with the Salem Educators Association?
I can, and thank you for giving us this opportunity for the board members to talk about the collective bargaining agreements that we'll see on the ballot this year. Article 4 is our article for our teachers, guidance counselors, our specialists, and our nurses. It's comprised of 345 members. It is a 2-year contract. The first year has a 0% cost of living increase, and it'll just be the steps that will be funded the first year. The second year, there's a modest increase of 1%. Another highlight of this contract is that the union has agreed to go to a higher copay for their doctor's visits, and they shrunk the number of plans that they can select from for their health insurance. We were also fortunate to negotiate an extra hours out of our teachers that is equivalent to an additional day for the district's improvement efforts. Thank you.
All right, well, thank you very much, Pam. And now we'll just move on to Article 5, which is the proposed agreement with the Salem Educators Professional Association. Mike, can you explain this for us?
Yes, thank you, Marty. Sure. This agreement is with our secretaries. It's a 3-year agreement. First year calls for an increase of 1.25%. Second year is for an increase of 1.5%, and the third year is an increase of 2.25%. The first year is 0.2% on the tax rate, and the second and third year equally less than 0.5% each year. It is a 3-year contract. It is standardized. They have agreed to increase their copays to help reduce the future cost of health care, and they also agreed to limit the amount of insurance plans that are available.
All right, Mike, you said Sanbornized, which I have trouble pronouncing, but what exactly is that?
That's a great question, Marty. Sanbornized is a way that allows the voters to approve the financial terms of the contract. So for example, in this contract, it's a 3-year contract. The voters in this election will approve the financial terms for the life of the contract, for the 3 years. In the past, we would negotiate a contract, the benefits, the salaries, and then each year the voters would have to re-ratify the contract. And if they did not, then that would open the entire contract for renegotiation. This way here, it allows us to help plan better, financially plan better. It gives some stability to our employees, and it actually helps us attract people to come to work for the district.
All right, thank you, Mike. And now Article 6 is the proposed agreement with CESPA. And Patricia, what is CESPA and what is the proposed agreement?
Great, thank you. Great question. CESPA is our Salem Educational Support Personnel. And I'd just take a second to tell you what this group does. They actually service our children directly one-on-one, so they offer direct support to the children of this district. We came up with a 1-year agreement for this group, and why we did that was because of the uncertainty of the Affordable Health Care Act. With this, we had to budget for a new health care plan for this group to avoid the penalties of the Health Care Act. If we don't have to pay the penalties, some of the funds will be returned to the taxpayer. We also the group agreed to have higher copays and differentiated wages for certain education levels.
All right, thank you. On to Article 7, and now we'll include you. We skipped you. I hope you weren't offended or anything.
No offense taken.
The proposed agreement with the Salem School Custodian Education Association. What is that proposed agreement?
The proposed agreement with the custodians is again a 3-year Sanbornized agreement. Many of the changes to the agreement have to do with the internal operations of the association itself. So the most significant ones, as far as we're concerned, involve the continuation of the higher level copays, which would save money on health insurance. There's been an agreement for a formal performance evaluation system employed by through the custodians. There have been changes added to the qualifications required to be eligible for internal transfers. The terms of the agreement are for a 1.25% increase the first year, 1.5% the second year, and 2.25% on the third year of the contract. First year of the contract would be about a 0.5 cent impact on the tax rate, and this article was approved and endorsed by the Budget Committee as well.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. And finally over to Bernie here for Article 8, which is the Salem Association of Food Services Personnel. Can you help us understand this one a little bit?
Thanks, Marty. Sure.
Okay.
This is the contract for the cooks, the servers, and the cashiers who operate our food service program in all of our schools. The proposed contract is a 3-year agreement with a 1.25% wage adjustment in the first year and 2% for the second and third years. There were not too many changes in this contract. There was one concession with regard to co-pays. You've heard some other contracts aligned that way. This contract also increases the co-pays, which we hope will keep down the cost of insurance, not only in the current year, but in the out years as well. And obviously an important feature of this particular contract is that it does not have a tax impact. The food service program is a self-supporting program based on the federal aid we receive along with the fees that we charge for the meals. So there is no impact to the tax rate with the adoption of this contract. And these people certainly, we hope, will receive an adjustment. They work for one of the lowest wages in our district because of the jobs they do, and we certainly support the passage of that article.
All right, well, thank you very much. And now it's up to you, the voters. Get out there and vote on March 11th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm Marty McHugh. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you at the polls.